Every child needs a mentor, a positive role model. For me, that was my grandmother. For more than 110 years, Big Brothers Big Sisters has been making meaningful monitored matches between adult volunteers and children. And these positive relationships have direct and measurable impacts. Help a child realize his or her potential. Visit bigbrothersbigsisters.org.
Hello everybody, I'm Tom Wilkins giving you Major League Football Game of the Week highlights between the Brass City Kings, who are the home team in this contest, and the New Jersey Longhorns. Here the Longhorns had the ball to start the game, but quarterback Damian Thomas gets sacked by Irving Alpizar, the first of 4 Kings sacks during the contest. Meanwhile, for the Kings, here's quarterback David Gondek, who finds Chris Borelli along the far sideline. A couple of very nice moves. He ends up getting 17 yards on the play. Please understand this part, we are going to have a little bit of a repetitive theme. On this play, Gondek goes back, guess who he finds? Chris Borelli, far sideline, knocked out of bounds at the 10, another 14 yards, sets up goal to go for the folks in Waterbury, Connecticut. And guess what? Why not do this one more time if the first 2 worked? Yep, Gondek finds Chris Borelli up the middle for a 12-yard touchdown strike. The extra point fails, and the Brass City Kings take a 6-0 lead. Meanwhile, quarterback Damian Thomas, who we're going to see a lot in this highlight package, well, this wasn't one of those highlights as he went back to pass. Here comes a quarter scheme of the Kings, smashing him down for a 14-yard loss, but he roughed him up a little too much and got called for roughing the passer, pretty much negating the entire play. On this next play, here is Damian Thomas going back to pass, and he decides to act like a younger Michael Vick on this play. Takes off right down the middle for a 26-yard pickup. He did that a lot during this contest, as you will see. But on this particular drive, the Longhorns stalled out, as on a key 4th down play, here comes Skeen again. Oh my God, look at that quarterback, and down he went for an 8-yard loss. The quarter-time score was 6-0 in favor of the Brass City Kings over the New Jersey Longhorns. By the way, the game took place at Ray Snyder's Senior Field. I forgot to mention that. Here's a key play early in the second quarter. Gondek gives the ball to Devon Pruden, and a couple of holes, and watch me. Well, if you do, he's going to be in the end zone, and in this case, he's in the end zone. 54 yards for the touchdown at a Gondek 2-point conversion, and the Brass City Kings increased their lead to 14-0. But back to Longhorn quarterback Damian Thomas. He dazzled on an earlier play. Why not dazzle on another one? He likes to run in Connecticut. And away he goes for 31 yards down the far sideline. Puts the Longhorns in Brass City territory. And that play was key because Damian ends up finding Donnell Williams over the secondary for a 32-yard touchdown pass. The extra point, though, was blocked, and the Kings' lead was cut to 14-6. Now, on the ensuing drive for Brass City, this is a key play. A missed exchange by Gondek as he tries to give it off to Jacob Thomas. Oops, he forgot the ball. And there's the Longhorns, Larry Baton to recover for the Longhorns. And that set up New Jersey for a big response if they could do it. And on this play, here's Damian Thomas yet again. He's going to use his legs and run for another 12 yards. They get to the 11 of Brass City, but the drive stalls and they turn the ball over on downs eventually. So after all these Damian Thomas highlights, why not David Gondek do one? Well, he goes back to pass and he says, you know what, I'm going to imitate Damian on this play. So he runs along the near sideline, gains 14 yards, except it was 3rd and 19 on the play. Nothing else happened in the first half, so as they go into the locker room, the Brass City Kings led the Longhorns by a count of 14-6. Then a key play in the third quarter as Gondek found Kyle Staten on a screen, but he ends up getting stripped by Rashawn Allen, and Ronald Clark was right there for the Longhorns to recover, forcing the second turnover of the game by Brass City. Now the Longhorns had a chance to tie the game if everything went right. Here's Damian Thomas again going back. He throws one of those loop screens out to Mitchell Jenkins, and he runs all the way for 21 yards to around midfield, but unfortunately they got no further as the Longhorns again turned the ball over on downs as they couldn't move the ball any further. So Gondek tries to respond. He goes back and he finds a middle screen to Dion Small, and that wasn't a small gain. In fact, it was 22 yards all the way down to about the 29-yard line, and eventually Gondek was able to find pretty much his most favorite target of the night. Going back to pass, he looks into the near corner, and guess who he finds? Chris Borelli again, a 22-yard touchdown strike. Borelli ends up catching 87 yards and 2 touchdowns on 6 catches. The Brass City Kings took a 20-6 lead at three-quarter time as the conversion failed. By the way, Gondek on the day, 12 out of 16 for 158 yards and 2 touchdowns. But I don't think the Longhorns were quite going to lay down and die after that. Here's Damian Thomas throwing a great pass to Tamir Houston along the far sideline, 35 yards for a touchdown. Again, the conversion missed, and the Kings' lead was cut to 20-12. Now for a little bit of redemption. Jacob Thomas of the Kings, who of course fumbled earlier in the game, gets a big haul across the middle and gains a key 18 yards on this drive. Ends up going out of bounds at about the 29-yard line. This sets up probably the play of this game. From the 28-yard line of the Longhorns, here's Gondek going back to pass. He decides under pressure, he's going for it all in the end zone, and guess what? Pass interference in the end zone. What a horrible play by the Longhorn defense, and that sets the Longhorns in majorly bad position as the Kings got first and goal at the 1-yard line. You think they take advantage of it? You better believe that they did. So who do they call on this one? Polanco crashed right into the end zone and the defensive line. They missed the 2-point conversion, but Polanco's 1-yard touchdown run gave the Kings a 26-12 lead. But the Longhorns continued to play to their credit. Damian Thomas, who had some spectacular runs, here runs for yet another 14 yards, as you will see. I mean, he just juked out of a whole bunch of tacklers. Again, 112 rushing yards for Damian Thomas. He had 156 passing yards, too, along with 3 touchdowns. And you can see there were flags coming from all parts of the Northeast after the play was over. But on this play, here's a play for Damian Thomas going back in a shotgun. He finds Donnell Williams for his second touchdown catch of the game, this one from 9 yards out in the back of the end zone. They make the conversion to cut the lead down to 26-20 for Brass City, but the ensuing onside kick failed late, and Brass City was able to run out the clock and win the contest by a final score of 26-20. Definitely a good game up in Waterbury, Connecticut.
Affleck.
You told me he was good, dude.
Yeah, he stinks at golf, but he was great to get my claim paid fast.
How fast?
Mine got paid in 4 days.
Wow, that's awesome. Is that legal?
Big fat no.
Find out how fast Affleck can pay you at Affleck.com.
Dexter Gervin here for MLF Weekly. We're here live with the Brass City King All-Star quarterback Dave Gondek. Dave, great game tonight, man. You again, as I said to you, you played quarterback, but you showed some traits of a running back tonight. What was going on out there?
Well, you know, the Longhorns have a good defense, so that rush was coming. Half the time I was just pulling the ball and trying to, get a couple of yards.
Okay.
I can't run too far, but I'll get like 3 or 4.
Listen, you did a good job tonight. And how did you feel out there being in control of the offense once again? You're on your home field back in Municipal Stadium, and which is like your home.
Yeah.
How did you feel being out here tonight?
Well, it was good to come out, after 3 straight losses. I haven't had 3 straight losses in a long time. A lot of these guys have, so it was good to come out here and play, football in front of our fans and, have a good showing.
Okay.
And just ball out.
We've been hearing that a lot of teams that have played you guys are saying that hands down you guys have one of the best offensive lines in the league. Those guys have proven week in and week out, to give you some, maximum protection. What do you say to those guys? You take them out to dinner? I mean, what happens here?
They do a great job. I don't think we had the same line the whole offense, like the whole season. So there's always somebody coming in and out, and they do a great job linking together and working hard.
Okay.
But I just praise them every day they practice.
Okay. Now, what about JT, man? I mean, you got 3 JTs on the team. As we were saying, we'll probably give them handkerchiefs for Christmas, and this way you can just pass them around or something, monogram handkerchiefs. But I mean, what do you got to say about number 1, man?
I'll tell you, all 3 of them can move. But number 1, when he gets that ball, sometimes I think he's gonna get tackled in it, and I don't know where he's 10 yards off the field.
And he's off and
Pretty
running.
amazing. Like I just hand it off and just watch him do his thing.
Okay. A lot of people are saying, I know the season is not anywhere near over, but they're looking for you guys to go deep into the playoffs. What do you think about this team? Do you think this is a team that can get it done?
You know, we've been playing together for a long time. I think we could do it. I know we could do it. You know, we just gotta come together and play hard.
Okay.
And limit the mistakes and everything.
Okay. The coaches, Coach Shep being the head coach of the team, how do you like the leadership?
Coach Shep was actually one of my coaches in high school. So
Okay.
I'm familiar with him, and Coach Bill and Coach Tennis do a great job running the team, and it's a family.
Okay. Well, listen, we look forward to seeing you for the remainder of the season and definitely during the playoffs. And you brought some real excitement to the league, and the Kings are really doing an unbelievable job. We look forward to watching you guys for the remainder of the season. And thank you for giving us an interview for MLF Weekly.
Thank you. We're glad to be a part of this league.
Awesome. Dave Gondig, number 14, starting quarterback for the Brass City Kings. Watch him. He's going to be a household name here in the MLF. So we look forward to seeing him for the season. And again, this is Dex Gervin for MLF Weekly, and we'll talk to you soon. Hey, this is Dex Gervin for MLF Weekly. We're here with Longhorns starting quarterback, number 1, Damian Thomas. Damian, rough game tonight, and but to me, and maybe only me, you look like you were having fun out there tonight.
Yeah, man, that's all it's really about, them having fun, going out there, just getting away from all the extra stuff that's in my surroundings daily, Monday through Friday. Just come out here and have another opportunity to just play football.
Okay, so let's talk about that for a second. What does this game really mean to you on a personal note?
I say this game means a lot to me because at the age of 8, you know, I wasn't really an athletic kid. I was already a small kid as it is. I'm small now. So it's like my cousins, they gave me the confidence, they gave me they instilled the heart in me,
Okay.
to perform at this high level of play. And it didn't just come with them talking to me, it came with them, you know, me working out every day, getting better and better and better.
Okay.
So that's basically the gist of it.
Okay, well, you came out here tonight, man, and I mean, you were pretty much the spark plug of offense between running the ball, throwing the ball. We saw some unusualities tonight. Longhorns very rarely drop that many footballs, you know, and normally the athleticism of the receivers has always been what the Longhorns has been known for, as well as, you know, the mobile quarterback what Coach Collin puts out there. What do you think this team has to do to right the ship, so to say?
In my eyes, first thing first, I think we all just need to come together as a team, like as one, a cohesive unit. You know, like there's a lot of people like on our team that like, have a lot of anger issues, and you know, but instead of them taking that and putting it out there, all out there, giving everything they got, you know, we look for another alternative, you know, whether it's the rest or a bad call or anything of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
If we could just sit down and focus on the game, you know, make everything happen as players, be playmakers, it'd be a great team.
The Kings spoke very highly of the Longhorns. The Longhorns have been a staple from the VEFF to the BNEFF and now to the MLF. We know that the team has athletes and the capabilities to come back or to take the lead and come back on anybody. What do they really need to do to get this team going? This is Longhorn football, but it's not the Longhorn football that we're used to seeing.
Well, first thing, if I was the leader and captain on the team, I would say, you know, we all get together and talk about the problems that we all see out there. Because honestly, it's more than one voice. Everybody pitching in, but like nobody's trying to help the cause. You know, we can't find that actual cancer to the team.
Okay.
You get what I'm trying to say? So if we could just find that cancer and just come together and get everything rolling, it would be great, man. Surprise a lot of people.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, I would love to have you. You know, you got your head screwed on right, and you know the problems that we're having in our different communities with our young people. And I would love to have you come out to some of the schools when we talk to these young people, because you just seem very, you know, you understand empathy and you're real with your words. Mm-hmm. And you get to see the battles out on the streets every day. You know, we've all lost people and friends, and you know, you shared that with me that, you know, you'd rather be out here than when you go back home, certain things going on that you know, you're just tired of seeing.
and
control.
and you can't control it. And that's the message that we at MLF want to get out to our young people as well. That is real. And if we have guys like you, that they see you in uniform, but then they see you, just walking to the local supermarket, that they go, yo, maybe that's a guy that can help me figure out my life. And you definitely seem like you got your head screwed on right. And we definitely are glad to have you in the league, and we definitely look forward to some wonderful things as the season continues. And I want to personally thank you for being here. So, for coming on MLF Weekly. And I'm sure there'll be many more interviews and championship games and all-star games. So you keep doing what you're doing, man. All right, you have a personal invitation to the MLF Weekly anytime you want. All right. So once again, this is Dex Gervin wrapping up for MLF Weekly, and again, we're here with the Longhorn quarterback, number 1, Mr. Damian Thomas, and I'm sure we'll get to hear more from him. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
My family, friends, my mom, my grandmother, all the coaches that around me, Coach Ron Lee, head coach here, just keeping faith in me, because I'm a little guy, so them giving me faith gives me the confidence to go out there and perform how I know I can perform. So thank you.
And you definitely did your thing tonight. Okay, folks, this is going to be a wrap. Dex Gervin, MLF Weekly, HSG Productions. We'll be seeing you the highway and the byway. But remember, when on the MLF highway, keep your head on a swivel because the collisions is real, and you don't want to be hit, and then your number becomes the exit. All right, MLF Football Live. We'll talk to you guys next week. Bye bye.
You told me he was good, dude.
Yeah, he stinks at golf, but he was great to get my claim paid fast.
How fast?
Mine got paid in 4 days.
Wow, that's awesome. Is that legal?
Big fat no.
Find out how fast Aflac can pay you at Aflac.com.
Now here's a question for you. Who will be in your top 5? In order to get into the 2015 MLF playoffs, it looks like it will take at least 5 wins to get in. Let's take a look at each conference's top 5 teams. The American Conference looks like this. The defending champion New York Predators are in at 7-1, while the Brooklyn Mariners at 4-2 and Brass City Kings at 4-3 need 1 win each to make the tournament. Checking their respective schedules, it kind of tells me it's a safe bet that both will get in with records over 500. That leaves the Central Jersey Vikings, Westchester Steelers, Westchester Warriors, and New Jersey Longhorns fighting it out for the last 2 spots. When I look into the MLF crystal ball, I see the Vikings and Warriors filling in those last 2 spots, both with records under 500. It doesn't look much different over in the National Conference. The New Jersey Spartans are in at 7-1, the Lehigh Valley Steelers are 5-1, and their Somerset Bears are 5-2. Those 3 hold the top 3 spots respectively. The New Jersey Wolves, Trenton Capitals, New York Venom, and Jersey Black Devils all stand with 2 wins and 3 or 4 games left to play depending on the team. Now let's grab that crystal ball and see. Hey, we all know that the Wolves will finish well over 500. Actually, looking at the remaining games for these teams, the Wolves should finish with at least a 500 or better record and should gain the 4th spot. This leaves the Capitals, Venom, and Devils to duke it out for that last spot. The winner, whoever gets that spot, may end up being an under 500 team when the season is over. Next week, we should have a clearer picture of the playoffs. For now, this is what this week looks like. Just please keep in mind the game between the Jersey Black Devils, who are 1-4, and Westchester Warriors at 2-5. That game has been moved to the makeup week. Now to the rest of the schedule. First, the 1-5 Westchester Steelers take on the 2-3 New York Venom. The Venom have been in this position before, needing 2 or 3 wins to make the playoffs. This is a must-win game for them, as they'll be facing the Wolves, Lehigh Valley Steelers, Vikings, and Mariners in the following weeks. The Steelers' season is all but over. They can put a damper on a few teams' playoff hopes, or at least seeding, but not this week. The New York Venom will win at home, giving 13 points. The 2-5 Trenton Capitals take on the 1-4 New Jersey Longhorns. The Longhorns are going to be facing an uphill climb the rest of the season. A win here does not lessen a task, but it does make it a bit easier. The Capitals also have a chance to go 3-5 with this win and secure a safe playoff spot. I think this first-year team is ready and will get a road win on Saturday, so look for the Trenton Capitals giving 6 points. The 7-1 New Jersey Spartans take on the 2-3 Plainfield New Jersey Wolves. As I said, the Spartans have already locked up their playoff berth, but the Wolves are still seeking theirs in this matchup. And as the history of semi-pro football has been written, no Wolves team has ever missed the playoffs, and it won't happen here. Look for the Wolves to win in surprising fashion, and the playoff run begins for them, giving 4 points. The New York Predators at 6-1 take on the 2-4 Central Jersey Vikings. This is the Vikings' time of the year, and the type of game the Vikings like to be in. The Predators have no postseason worries atop their division, and may still be hurting from their only loss to the Somerset Bears, even though it was a 1-point loss. While owner Bill Ciamo is looking all over Staten Island for a kicker, we'll take the Predators to win in a true trap game, giving 12 points. And now the game of the week, as it will be broadcast live, the 5-1 Lehigh Valley Steelers taking on the 5-2 Somerset Bears in Bridgewater at Nat Torpy Field. After last week's Windows 10 crash, all computer systems have been reset for this game. And as Jim Ross would say, this is going to be an old-fashioned slobber knocker with playoff seeding implications. It features the defensive-minded Bears hosting the wide-open offense of the Lehigh Valley Steelers. The Steelers came off a 1-point win over the Brooklyn Mariners, and of course Somerset had a 1-point win over the defending champion Predators last time around, which will make this game a must-see. So get your HDMI cords out, as we're taking the Bears at home in front of a packed house, giving 2 points.
Watching Bellator live at Dave & Buster's is incredible. The excitement, the roar of the crowd.
I know. It's like I'm at the fight. It's like I'm right next to Michael Chandler.
You are next to Michael Chandler.
Like he's talking directly to me.
I am talking to you. I'm sitting right here.
Like he's sitting right here.
How is this happening?
Every Friday, catch Bellator MMA viewing parties only at Dave & Buster's.
Anybody ever tell you you look a tiny bit like Michael Chandler?
This week's power rankings are calculated by a PowerPoint system. We can't tell you what they're based on. However, I can assure you that it takes 3 Predators, 2 Spartans, a Bear, and maybe 1 crazy mind, hint hint, to figure it out each week. Anyway, on with the rankings. Let's begin with number 14, the Trenton Capitals. After being shut out, this team needs a win to get out of the cellar. As a new team this year, they have made great strides. Now the playoffs are one last hurdle. Number 13, the Westchester Steelers. This team must run the table in order to qualify for the playoffs. With the schedule that's in front of them, this may be a tall task, but never say never. Number 12, the other Westchester team, the Warriors. They're another team that must win out in order to get into the big dance, but they may just have too much on their plate to do it. Number 11, the Jersey Black Devils. From the northernmost part of the state, the Black Devils still have plenty of games left to get back into it. The hope is, once they get on a roll, this team will prove that they can walk the walk. Number 10, the New Jersey Longhorns. After suffering 2 extreme losses in league play, they definitely need to get together and quickly. With plenty of winnable games left, they at least control their own destiny. Number 9, the New Haven Venom. They are one of the few teams that have half of their schedule left, so they have the greatest chance to make a run. So many teams have determined their future, but this one controls it more than the rest. Number 8, the Plainfield New Jersey Wolves. The traditionalists say, never count this team out. However, many are starting to show concern. Always known as one of the most dangerous teams, this team will rise as long as they stay healthy. Number 7, the Central Jersey Vikings. Though there's plenty of time left, this is another team with proven playoff experience that may be on the outside looking in. Look for Coach Pagan to rally his troops as he always does every season. Number 6, the Brass City Kings. showing everyone that this team is here to stay, as well as being one of Al Alston's personal favorites. They came back from one of their worst defeats of the year to beat a high-flying Longhorn team at home. This team looks to only move up. Number 5, the Brooklyn Mariners. The Mariners can beat anyone at any time, as they've proven this year. But there's one problem. They can also lose to anyone at any time. Which team will show up will be the question for their playoff run. Number 4, the Lehigh Valley Steelers. After an exciting win this week, they walk into the Somerset Bears' den for another challenge in Bridgewater. They've already had several significant wins, and with a little luck, they may actually gain on the New Jersey Spartans. Number 3, those Somerset Bears, as we mentioned. Beating the unbeaten Predators, the Bears are on a roll. Having a team that utilizes the run as they do means they control the game and the clock. Next up is the game of the week against those Lehigh Valley Steelers, and that game will be streaming live for everybody to see. Number 2, the defending champion New York Predators. Now that this team has a loss in their column, it will be very telling to see how they rebound. This hasn't happened too many times, so they must be even more focused in order to right the ship before the playoffs. And at number 1, Kevin Moss's squad, the New Jersey Spartans. As the new number 1 seed, all eyes will be on them this weekend, as their biggest test will be against a hungry New Jersey Wolves team looking for a win. That game could decide the conference's number 1 seed.
As the sun sets on this week's show, let me leave you with the Nebraska Cornhusker prayer they state before they walk through the tunnel. Dear Lord, the battles we go through life, we ask for a chance that's fair, a chance to equal our stride, a chance to do or dare. If we should win, let it be by the code, faith and honor held high. If we should lose, we'll stand by the road and cheer as the winners go by. Day by day, we get better and better. The team that can't be beat won't be beat. That's our show for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back hopefully next week with our next episode.